What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's me, Josh Shug Nasty. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Today's video, I wanted to talk about grading arbitrage. We'll see if something cool comes out of editing in that. If not, I don't. It's just gonna be my hand waving. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna talk about grading arbitrage. If you don't know what grading arbitrage is, it's where you take a card that's in a slab of a PSA, Beckett, CGC, any grading company really. You look at the card and you see like, hey, it's a CGC 9, and you're like, I don't think that's a 9. I think I could get a PSA 10 with that. It looks good in the case, so you crack it, you resubmit it to PSA, it comes back hopefully a 10, and then the profit or the value goes up, and your card just became more valuable on the market. Most people want 10s, so they're going to pay more for 10s. They don't look at the card so much as they do the grade.
Shut up and take my money.
But what prompted me to make this video was Rusty TCA Gaming. He put out a video, a resubmission video, where he cracked some cards he had sent to PSA and CGC. He says they came back with not optimal grades. He thought they could do better, so he resubmitted to CGC, and he has the cards, the stack of cards, and he has the old labels. And he just goes through and shows you how well or how bad he did. Surprise, surprise, he does very well. I think with the exception of, there's like 15, 20 cards he sent, with the exception of 2, all of them go up in grade. And a couple of them quite significantly, which is why I made this video, just because I thought it was interesting how greatly he was able to get increase his grades. But the 2 cards that most of them go up like 1 or 2 points, which is kind of like acceptable. In it's kind of, people have done it before. It's not anything new where you get 1 or 2 a bump in 1 or 2 grades. But the 2 cards that he had gotten that were surprising were a PSA 6 Mischievous Pichu promo, and a PSA 8. I think it was the TCG Classic, high-end card game set that came out last year. The Charizard from the Charizard Ho-Oh deck, and both of those cards received CGC Pristine 10, the quote unquote black label of CGC. One was a PSA 6, one was a PSA 8. Both of them got a Pristine 10, which is, it's wild to me that they were able to bump up that much. I don't know. I haven't seen the cards in person, so I have no idea what they really are. But it's either scary either way you think about it. Either PSA was wrong or CGC was wrong, because their grading scales are, while they're different, they're not that different, not by that much. A PSA 6 does not equal a perfect CGC 10. So it's either one of them's wrong or they're both wrong, which is kind of what I want to lean towards, is that PSA saw something that bumped it down to a 6, and CGC missed something. So that the card, there is something wrong with the card. It's just, it wasn't quite as bad as a 6 and wasn't quite as good as a 10, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough, but anyway, it's 2 things. I think 2 or 3 things. It's just, one, it's concerning for me as a collector, as a buyer of Pokemon cards, to we go online, we look for cards because we want to buy a card in a certain condition, and we're putting our trust and our faith in these companies to adhere to their grading scale quite consistently. So when we see a certain grade of a card, we're like, okay, we know what that is. We've looked at the cards before in that grade graded by that company. We're familiar with what the kind of condition it should be in, and that gives us some peace at mind when we're spending money, that we're going to receive a card that's up to that standard. And is that always the case? Seeing this video, is that Pristine 10? Either of those Pristine 10s actually truly a Pristine 10? Is the person, I believe one of those cards, at least one of those cards, is listed on Rusty's eBay. The Pichu, I believe, which I kind of wanted to buy for the video and see if I could examine it on the video, and like under my phone camera, see if I could see anything wrong with it, because I thought that'd be kind of cool. But for the person that buys that, is there something wrong? Is it truly a CGC Pristine 10? It's not an expensive card by any means, but maybe to some people it is. but yeah, that sucks for the buyer, the collector. On the other hand, the person that's just like myself, mostly the cards that I grade are just cards that are for my collection. I'm not reselling most of them. So that $15 is kind of a lot of money to grade a piece of paper, piece of cardboard. But if you're if you're truly looked at the card for a long time and you're like, this is, this is a 9, for sure a 9, or for sure a 10, and then you submit it and you get it back as a 5 or 6 or whatever it may be, it just, and you're like, that's not, I don't agree with that. I want to resubmit it. You got to crack it out, and you got to take the chance of damaging the card. You got to crack it out. You got to resubmit it, and that's another $15. And who knows, is it going to come back again as a 5 or 6, or is it going to come back as the grade you believe it is? Um, maybe it truly is a 5 or 6 and you're missing something, but if you've spent time at really looking at the card and you know what to look for, it's frustrating to send those cards out, especially when the wait times for some of these companies were months to years, long. Sending those cards out to not have them properly graded, that's super frustrating, I think. And I just, that's the video made me think of this. Like, I was just getting ready to submit some cards to PSA and BGS, and then I saw this, and I'm like, man, do I do it? I got to look at these cards again, make sure, yeah, I'm seeing everything. I checked everything and know what damage is there or not there, just to give myself the best chance. But it made me second guess myself. So yeah, that's just something the video made me think of, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. I want to know, what do you guys think of the video? Did you see the video? If you did see it, I don't know if you know of any more examples. Maybe this is like a thing that's been done before. I'm sure it has been. I just haven't seen it online or any evidence of it. So if you've seen more examples of it, let me know. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on it and how you feel about grading. If you haven't graded anything, is this one of the reasons that you guys haven't graded, is because of this uncertainty and inconsistency in grading? But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.